I'm done toe dipping. I'm done half-assing. I need full customized support. I want to make sure I have the clear strategy on exactly what to focus on and stop focusing on in order to get the results I want to build, grow, and scale my business. End of story. I'm not going to be doing this little thing over here and Googling this over here and wasting all this time. We're already in April, and my guess is you're not really where you want to be. And to think that you're going to be where you want to be and you've not made any big money moves to get there, now you're insane. Now you're unwell. Now you're in scarcity. Scarcity robs us of everything we want because we end up not taking these actions, these risks, and doing these things. I waited for 10 years before I started Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and business coaching academy. And before you know it, that time will go by so fast. So don't think it can't be you when it's happened to me. If you've been feeling like you're in a pressure cooker in 2025 and your brain is spinning with scarcity, even though you do a lot of work around manifestation and abundance and wealth mindset, and you know it's not good to think like that, so then you'll have a moment where you're thinking more abundantly, but then something else flips you back into scarcity and you're starting to lose your mind over it. And then when you look at things that are in your reality, maybe your taxes, maybe how your business is doing, things aren't going as well as you'd liked, or the year it didn't start off as good as you planned for the first quarter, and you're like, yeah, but this is evidence, this is reality. And then you're listening to Uncle Joe who's complaining about the economy and talking about politics, and then you turn on the TV or you're scrolling social media and then people are complaining they're broke or lost your job, and then you start getting sucked into it. Here is the truth of it all. Scarcity isn't just happening in the world, it's happening in your energy, your thoughts, and the way you're showing up in your business, in your life. And that is something that you can control. We can't control what other people are doing, saying, believing, and showcasing out in the world, but you can control yourself. So we're going to reclaim your wealth power in this episode. I'm breaking down how to spot when you've slipped into scarcity, even when you think you're staying positive, and how to shift into the frequency that attracts aligned opportunities, fresh cash flow, and real expansion, regardless of what is going on in the world around you. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your mindset, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between. Now, if you're watching on ProjectME TV on YouTube, I am very proud of my new robe. It's my new abundance robe, and it's one of my multitask manifesting tricks that I share over on TikTok at ProjectME with Tiffany. So I'm the same both on there and on Instagram, but my content on TikTok is unique. It's specifically around all the stuff with manifestation, money mindset, wealth mentality. And one of the things I do in order to keep myself in an abundant state is I will have a money juice drink that I have determined and labeled it as such. I usually change out my drinks every month. So for this month, it is a lavender, either almond milk or oat milk matcha, and it's iced. And I just love everything about it. And every time I take a sip of it, I'm getting richer and richer, period, end of story. And the other thing I do is I have some sort of a blankie, a robe, a hoodie, something that feels really good against my skin and I just feel rich in. And it's like I'm get richer as I wear this. It's like my manifestation cloak. And you can be wearing that and you can be sipping away while you're multitasking, working and doing other things, just as I am right now recording this podcast. So go check me out on ProjectME TV on YouTube. It is definitely an interesting vibe over there if you're curious what goes on behind the scenes. So here are signs that you have slipped into subconscious scarcity. The reason I keep emphasizing subconscious is consciously you're aware that your thoughts create your reality. Your beliefs create your reality. You've listened to enough of my podcast episodes. You've read enough books. You know that you need to be thinking abundantly in order to attract abundance, but then you get mad at yourself because you're not thinking abundantly. And then you start denying that your true feelings are that you are scared because you aren't making as much money and you need to face reality. You can't live in la la land. And it gets all mishmashy in there. And I want you to know, I hear you, I get it. I am a Virgo Enneagram 6. I am rooted and grounded in truth, And like, I'm not, by the way, an optimist. I think it's important for you to know this in listening to this episode. I never have been. Quite frankly, I don't think anyone who has come from a dysfunctional family is an optimist unless it's like toxic optimism, like it's a mask. I am a realist. I did used to be more on the pessimistic side because that's something that kept me safe. If I always expected the worst and I always looked at the worst case scenario, then I'd be safe and protected. But you can imagine how that doesn't really work well when it comes to manifestation. If you're expecting the worst and you end up getting the worst, we want to expect the best and get it. And I don't mean setting ourselves up for disappointment, but like where it's grounded and rooted in reality. Like I do deserve the best. And so I attract the best and I don't accept anything less. In fact, I don't have a tolerance for anything less. In fact, I'm only an energetic match for the things that I want to be available for. But if you are doing all of this stuff consciously, but really underneath, it's kind of like a duck on water, like the feet are going a million miles per hour, totally chaotic. But on the surface, it looks like you're just, smooth and sailing through that water. You are still going to end up with a major abundance problem. You're still in scarcity, even if you're trying to mind fuck yourself out of it. So here are some signs that we can wake you up. And then of course, I'm going to go into like how we're shifting this. And I also slip into scarcity. This is why I have all of these rituals and I do my abundance walks, which you can get my Season of Abundance guided walking meditation series. I'll put the link in the show notes. You can swipe up and get it. It's my free abundance gift for you. And I would say do it at least 3 times a week. It's designed to shift you out of scarcity and into abundance. And I mean a full body feeling of it, not just in your brain, but where you get the chills, you feel lighter on your feet, you feel like your inflammation even goes down. It's something you can physically actually grasp, and it's a beautiful feeling, and it happens in less than 3 minutes. It's designed to do so. It's scientifically proven. You can also go to projectmewithtiffany.com/season of abundance to get that free gift. First sign, constantly learning, but rarely implementing. You binge podcasts, courses, content, you save things, you go and do this course, that thing, and you don't really take any action on it. You stay in research mode, you stay in learning mode because it makes you feel productive. It makes you feel like doing anything, but you're really not taking any risk. And risk comes by taking action, by actually doing it, by putting yourself out there. So that's a sign. I call you guys the forever students. And listen, I sell memberships. I sell courses. I have my 2-month private business coaching program. Those applications are open for spring right now. Spring enrollment for new members in my posse is open right now. And I welcome you and want you to come, but I also need you to know this. You're not just getting information in there. The whole goal in there is to get you clear actions, and you are being held accountable and getting the support to take those income generating actions. I don't believe in just selling information-based stuff because I don't want to feed or enable the people that can end up hiding by just learning more. Oh, I'm confused. Oh, I need to figure out my niche first. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do this until I do this. You like box yourself into this insane corn maze that I can't get help until I start making money in my business or making more money in my business, but you're not making more money in your business because you're not doing the things that are going to make you more money. And you've just completely boxed yourself in from being able to attract any of the wealth that you want. Second one, you're over delivering without boundaries. You're giving too much for free or over giving in your offers out of fear that people won't see the value or buy unless it's like extra, 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 extra. This comes out of scarcity. You can feel that it's coming out of like a space of giving, right? And I'm not saying you're not a giving person, but over giving, overdoing it, overperforming is always rooted in fear. You're doing all that because you feel you need to do that in order to hedge your bet that more people are going to buy by you giving more and more and more. And then when they don't, you get resentful. Number 3, avoiding the ask or watering it down. This is one of mine. That's one of my like red flags if I'm in a subconscious scarcity mode where you share content, but like make clear, confident calls to action. I'm pretty good to that, but I can not make asks like of certain guests on podcasts or asking my team to do certain things out of being afraid of being rejected or rooted in the belief that like it won't work or the amount of support that you're wanting or that people won't really show up for you. That's more mine than the money thing. And I've shared it quite a bit, especially in the last few months on the podcast about support. It's like I have had so many people let me down and not fully show up for me, or they only showed up for me because they had an agenda that I didn't see. It wasn't because they actually gave a shit. And so then I can get into this mode of being afraid to ask or afraid of hiring someone to do something because I don't want to be set up. I don't want to deal with the pain of being let down again. But that's being in scarcity. That's not going to work. Number 4, dismissing small wins. You're quickly so focused on, yeah, but I don't have all these people buying. And you're looking for this external validation of, oh, my following isn't growing, but I'm not having this. So only 200 people are watching my videos. You're quickly moving past the progress and the things that are happening. You're basically saying, well, that's not enough to the universe. That's not enough. You're hyper focused on lack instead of focusing on what's working. I have literally almost every private client who comes to me, no matter what size their following is, will say, I don't have like that many views on my videos. And I'm looking at it and they always have an amazing amount of views on their videos. And even if the video count is low, I was like, when was the last time that you were able, by sitting on your couch posting a piece of content, to be in front of 200 people? Like, when was the last time that that was going to happen? And would you be able to be in front of 200 people every single day, 7 days in a row, and not be exhausted? And you kind of like poo-poo like these things that you have learned, these things you've implemented, personal development shifts that you've made, maybe about the fact that you actually are showing up on video and you are showing up consistently and you are showing up as yourself, and you don't acknowledge those wins. Instead, you're just focused on everything you aren't doing, everything you're doing wrong, everything that isn't happening. And whatever you focus on grows. So therefore, out of scarcity. 5, procrastinating on money moves. You delay in raising your prices, hiring someone at a higher level. By the time people come to apply to work with me in my highest level way to access me and my expertise, my 2-month private business coaching program, they're at a point they're done. I'm done toe dipping. I'm done half-assing. I need full customized support. I want to make sure I have the clear strategy on exactly what to focus on and stop focusing on in order to get the results I want to build, grow, and scale my business. End of story. I'm not going to be doing this little thing over here and Googling this over here and wasting all this time. We're already in April, and my guess is you're not really where you want to be. And to think you're going to be where you want to be even 4 months from now. So what is that? May, June, July, August. So like the end of the summer, that you're going to be where you want to be and you've not made any big money moves to get there. Now you're insane. Now you're unwell. Now you're in scarcity. You're not thinking clearly. Scarcity robs us of everything we want because we end up not taking these actions, these risks, and doing these things that we need to do in order to get to where we want to go. Your scarcity mind kind of wants you to like, let's try this. Let's dibble dabble over here. Let's see what happens here. Let's hope we go viral and then everything will change. Let's wait until we get clients. Let's wait until this happens. And sure, you can wait. You'll be waiting for years. Okay. I waited for 10 years before I started ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and business coaching academy, with all sorts of reasons like that. And before you know it, that time will go by so fast. So don't think it can't be you when it's happened to me. Jealousy that feels like motivation. This one I have as a red flag of mine. Constantly comparing yourself to others and calling it inspiration, but inside you feel like there's not enough room, attention for you to have it too, or there's something wrong with you, and why them and not me, or I'm not enough this, or I'm too much of that to have it. Why do they get to have it? Why does it seem easier for them? Maybe I need to be more ambitious. Maybe I should be an extrovert. Maybe I need to be skinnier. And I want you to look at what you are jealous of, because what you're jealous of is a beautiful indicator of what you're truly wanting in your life. And because you really want it, it's meant for you, because it wouldn't be meant for you if you didn't want it. So many people, you line up 100 people, they all have different nuances and different wants and desires. Those are implanted in there for a reason. Your desires are there because they're meant for you. It's just a matter of you getting on the same frequency and being an energetic match for those desires. And this last one, this can be another one of mine, especially because of being an Enneagram 6, an abuse survivor, complex PTSD, you name the whole list. I want certainty, certainty, certainty. I'm certain, then it will work, then I'll do it. I want evidence, I want proof, I want receipts, which is also why I show tons of proof and receipts to you guys. But always needing proof first is rooted in scarcity. You won't make bold decisions until you see someone else doing it successfully. You're basically saying, I need to know for 100% certain that this is going to work in order for me to do it. Well, there are no guarantees in life. But I also understand you need to see that someone has a proven way that it is possible for me, which is why I show all of this stuff and I showcase other people here on the podcast as well. So you can go, no, this is sitting here. This is here for you. And I have the strategy and I'm someone that can help you get there. But it's like you're wanting to know, well, if I knew for absolute certainty that I posted 10 videos and out of every 10, one is going to go viral, you would get your ass to post 10 videos. You might even be posting 5 times a day if you knew that for certain. You have to believe it's for certain before the universe shows you it's for certain. And that is what is so difficult for people. You're wanting the guarantee without any faith. It doesn't work like that. You have to believe it's certain, it's meant for you, it's happening as long as you show up and you do what's within your control, that it's inevitable, and let go of the timing. And most people won't do the internal work, won't do the regular abundance work, wealth mindset work in order to stay in that energy long enough for them to see the traction and for them to see the results to build that evidence bank. So here is how you're going to get yourself out of the scarcity mode and into abundance. And I'm also sharing the scientific evidence that's behind it. Like, this is not from my ass. This is actually rooted in true proof by many, many studies over tens of thousands of people. Like, it will work. So those of you who are looking for certainty and don't want to just try things and just kind of see if they work, I'm telling you, these absolutely work without a doubt. Before I do that, my spring applications are open for my private 2-month business coaching program. This is where everything is customized to you and your business. We look at your offers, we repackage your offers, we refine the messaging in your offers so that people are eager and excited to buy them. We create a profitable content strategy, not just content that gets likes and views and shares. While that's nice, I'm more concerned of, is it converting into sales? And then we also create a customer acquisition formula for you so that you can attract ideal clients on repeat through your content. And I don't just mean like social media videos. I'm talking about your messaging. I'm talking about your emails. I'm talking about how you talk about your business, your services, your products, your offers, how you energetically relate and showcase your things that you have available for them to buy in all the various places. This is the holy grail way to work with me. I only take 4 private clients at a time, so this fills up very quickly. You can access the application by swiping up. It's in the show notes. It's also in the description here on YouTube on ProjectME TV. If this stat does not get you to take this seriously, I don't know what to do with you. Scarcity literally shrinks your mental capacity. A Princeton study from 2013 found that scarcity, whether of time, money, or resources, reduces cognitive bandwidth by up to 13 IQ points. So when you're stuck in scarcity, your brain is hijacked. You can't access your full creativity, strategy, or decision-making power. So abundance begins with relieving your mental pressure, not by working harder. This is part of why I teach you how to work less while making more. The whole thing with gratitude, there is science behind that, okay? Like, regular gratitude practice does activate the brain's reward system. So it really goes into your prefrontal cortex, increasing dopamine and serotonin. And that's why those abundance walks work. It does the same thing. It's brain training. So what I want you to do is anchor anchor into what's already working in your life. It might be in a different area of your life, but there are things for sure that you have working in your life. I mean, if your health is good, you're already winning, right? And now you open up your mind to spot more opportunities and create more money and create more ideas because you're anchored in to the feeling of what's working, not anchored into the feeling and the repetitive thoughts of what's not working. Visualization changes your neural pathways. So neuroscientific research, this is from Harvard, shows that the brain cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So this is the basis for mental rehearsal used in Olympic athletes, okay? When you visualize receiving money, getting the award, delivering value, being paid well, going viral, helping all of the people, you're not pretending. You're creating neural pathways that prime your brain to take aligned action to receive more. Do you think that these Olympic athletes or these soccer players or NFL players, do you think that they are going in and playing the game of their life, sitting there like, well, I hope I don't lose. Oh no, this person and this person tends to always win and do better. I guess they're probably going to win and I'm not. Do you think that's going to set themselves up to win? No, you go in and you're like, I'm winning this thing. I am winning. I'm running my fastest time. I'm getting the touchdown. I'm going to be as sharp as possible. Like this is going to be the game of my life that gets photographed forever. And that's what you need to do. You are priming your brain. You're strengthening a muscle. Would you go into a race without stretching, without running other races, prepping you for this big race? No, you're setting yourself up to lose. We need to set yourself up to win. And you have to do that intentionally. No one's going to do that for you. I can encourage you. I can kind of badger you into it, but you have to take responsibility for that part. Number 4, language creates financial identity. According to studies in neurolinguistic programming, so NLP, the words you use shape your subconscious beliefs. So shift from saying shit like, I can't afford it right now, to how can I afford it? It may seem small, but you're reprogramming your subconscious to think in terms of solutions and expansion, not lack. So like when I just upgraded my team and wanted to hire more people, like high level people, because I'm taking this brand of mine and this podcast of mine to a much bigger level, it's scary because higher level people cost more money, right? Like you working with me, whether it's privately or inside my ProjectME Posse business and money coaching membership, which spring membership enrollment is open now for that as well. So I do have that link in the show notes too. And those spots go pretty quickly as well. And when you go to the page for the Posse membership, if it says full, then we can't add anyone else at the time. So I just wanted to let you know that. So when you are like going to do an expansion of hiring me or hiring people on your team or hiring someone to help you or investing in your education or you're investing in some piece of equipment that would help your business. I mean, it is scary. And I did start down a path of going, I need to make sure I can pay these people. What if I'm not bringing in enough money to pay those people and pay for my lifestyle? And then what if that puts me into scarcity and such high pressure that it messes with me and then I make less and less and less and less money, but I have all this overhead. I went into all of that too, but I have just trained myself by doing everything I'm teaching you today to deliberately and intentionally pause and regroup when I see these warning signs and put myself back into a wealth identity, and so I said, how can I ensure that I'm going to be bringing in enough revenue to pay all of these people? And what are the facts? I'm paying these people to come in to expand my business and to help me grow. There's no way it can't grow. The way it won't grow is by me not investing in them. So there's no way that this wouldn't work. And that's a very different energy than me sitting there going, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? That literally helps nobody. It actually shrinks your IQ, as I shared in here from the Princeton study. Instead, how are we going to ensure this works? How are we going to get creative and make sure this works? How exciting. It is going to work. In fact, my success is inevitable because I'm going to show up until it works. Number 5, mirror neurons make abundance contagious. So mirror mirror. Okay. Mirror neurons cause us to subconsciously mimic the emotions and energy of the people we observe. So I need you to really take root and note of who you're surrounding yourself with digitally and physically. So listening to my podcast, very smart move, not being like self-serving in that, but it's abundant. Right? It's abundant. It's safe. It feels good. Hopefully you laugh sometimes, right? Like not feeding yourself with fear mongering news, even true crime. That really instills a lot of fear. And I know a lot of you guys are kind of addicted to it. I don't really approve. Once in a while, I'd say, but I don't really love that. Or even music that's like really nasty and raw, like really angry. Again, once in a while, right? Just like eating like junk food once in a while is okay. But really taking inventory of what you're surrounding yourself with, who you allow into your universe, how much access they get to you and your energy and conversations. Because surrounding yourself in person or online with expansive, wealthy thinkers, it's not just motivational. It literally rewires your brain to adopt the beliefs and habits of abundance. Okay, so you're going to start unfollowing people. Number 6, acting as if boosts motivation and confidence. So research in psychology, this is a really well-known study from 1977, shows that self-efficiency, your belief in your ability to succeed, grows with small wins and bold behavior. So when you start acting like someone who already has what you want, you start acting like someone who's already abundant, whether that's setting boundaries, investing in yourself, showing up more boldly, your brain builds a new empowered identity. You're in control of building that. This is why when I do like the multitask manifesting, of sipping the money juice, of wearing my manifestation cloak, like I am putting myself in the energy of someone who has what I want. I'm already famous, okay? I'm already famous for helping tens of millions of people all over the world. I'm already a household name. How would I show up knowing that? I would show up boldly. I wouldn't be missing posts. I wouldn't dim down my light and showing up on my podcast. I would invest in hiring a bigger team and a higher level team. I would be holding myself in a certain energy and a swagger. I would be holding myself to a higher standard. Not that I'm better than someone, but I'd be holding myself in that identity of who I know I am. That person is just in a different timeline. I can timeline jump at any time. So I know this version of Tiffany exists. That version of you does exist. We are just making ourselves an energetic match for that. And that's how you can end up having that reality come to you faster, or you can slow it down by not doing this stuff. I know for me, I would rather be in that identity and get there much faster by doing these things, which does take some mental discipline and some time discipline to do this stuff. But the payoff is huge. And that's why I'm sharing all the studies that went with these things. So you know, it's not just me sharing it from my ass, that it is actually rooted in true proof that it does work. And you now knowing that these things work, why wouldn't you make a point of doing these? Why wouldn't you adjust some of the stuff that you are taking in and the people around you and the thoughts that you're thinking and your morning routine and your evening routine? Why wouldn't you be more deliberate and intentional, knowing that this without a doubt works, that this without a doubt gets you closer to the exact wealth identity that you want from where you're at to where you want to be? This shortens the duration tremendously. And if you notice you're not doing it, it's kind of interesting. I don't want you to sit there and badger and judge yourself, but there's some money wounds there that we need to look at. And I have some amazing series on this podcast on money wounds. You can literally Google like money wounds, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, and it'll come up. There's some other stuff going on there. It's kind of like when you have a friend that's saying they don't feel good, they're not happy with their body, they've gained weight, they have no energy, yet they're not even going on a walk. They continue to drink wine all the time. It's like, that's not someone who really wants it. Someone who really wants it, their actions and words match. So if you're saying you really want the abundance, you really want the wealth, you really want the success, you really want to be able to have the lifestyle that you so desire, but you then are in resistance resistance and not willing to be consistent with these things, well, then my question is either how bad do you really want it? You must not want it that badly. And two, there must be some reason you don't feel worthy of it, or that you feel something bad is going to happen to you going into that wealth identity. And I'm going to have part 2 of this next week for you, which we're going to unpack some of that, because I know you guys, and I believe that one of your biggest blocks is this resistance of, I want to be in that new identity, that upgraded wealth identity of me. I see it. I can feel it. I can tap into it sometimes, but then I go into resistance. I go into fear. I go into self-sabotaging behaviors, and it doesn't really make sense. And it vacillates. It's like, but I do want it. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't. It's because you're afraid of what's going to happen when you step into that higher level version of yourself, that there's going to be a price to pay, that there's going to be a consequence, that there's going to be anything other than beautiful things waiting for you over there. And I want to help you unpack that and work through that so that you're not doing all the things I shared with you today and then nothing is working because you're working against yourself. We're the common denominator in our lives. We get in our own way. And if you think that you can get to where you want to go totally on your own, that's one of the lies that your brain is telling you. And it's your own way of trying to keep yourself safe and small. It's impossible. I have 2 coaches right now. I have a therapist. I have a psychiatrist, and I'm in a high-level small mastermind group. And I am also in special group recovery programs for being an adult child of a dysfunctional family. Okay. Like, I just named a lot of support that I have, and I have to have that in order for me to be able to hold the space and grow into my wealth identity, because I cannot see the whole picture. I can't think that I could see all of my own stuff. I need to put guardrails up to ensure that I'm going to get there, to ensure that the things that I want are going to happen. Otherwise, if I'm not setting myself up for success, I'm setting myself up for more of the same. And I'm not interested in doing that. And I hope you're not either. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. Remember, swipe up in the show notes. All of the links of everything that I've mentioned are right in there for you and on the description on Project Me TV on YouTube.